Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Just ahead of Dan Milstein, all of our guests today brought to you by the Bayside Oceanfront Resort. Delaney's OK Tire and Langley Inbox Shade. New segment, DT's Daily Line Combos. I screwed those up big time. And follow up with Dolly's Canucks Tidbits, which I know you love.
You ask for them every day. I try my hardest.
No, you came up with Ethan Bear.
Ethan Bear at Sheldon
Drives,
who you asked for last night. I came through.
What more can you ask? Yesterday, big news. You knew it was big news because we had the day off yesterday.
Unreal.
Canucks signing 26-year-old Andrei Kuzmenko from the KHL, a one-year deal. Joining us now is Andrei's agent, Dan Milstein, who's been on the show before. Dan, thanks for doing this again. How are you?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on today.
Anytime, Dan. What made your client decide on the Canucks?
Well, first off, we've been working with Andrei for a very, very long period of time. One of my head scouts watched him play 2 months after any team could have had him in the NHL draft in the 7th round. Mm-hmm. I get a frantic call in August because my head scout watched this kid play, and he goes like, "Hey Dan, you gotta check out this guy, this Kuzmenko guy on CSK team. You have to go sign him right away. Call Steve Yzerman because he can play in Tampa Bay today." Do you know who my head scout is?
No.
Nikita Kucherov.
Whoa.
Wow. So Nikita Kucherov. All the jokes aside, but actually it was Nikita who saw him play 2 months after any highly paid NHL scouts could have had him in the 7th round, and so Nikita called. Obviously, we watched Andrei. We signed him, and over the years, we have had virtually all 32 teams that have reached out on Andrei. It was a long process. We had 6 finalists, and in the end, Andrei felt very comfortable signing with Vancouver.
And for people who don't know, Nikita Kucherov is one of your clients. What is he going to add? What is Andrei going to add to the Canucks as a player, Dan?
Well, he is he's got hockey sense. He's got hands. He can work power play at front of the net. He's big. He's strong. He is going to bring a lot of offense to Vancouver, and hopefully it'll transition well. He, as Jim Rutherford said, that he is the number 1 available free European player from Europe, and so we'll see what happens. But he's a complete package, and hopefully it'll translate well here in North America.
Dan, I love the Kucherov story, but I'm not sure if you answered the question about what made your client decide on the Canucks. What did the Canucks do? What did they offer, money aside, that other teams didn't?
All-you-can-eat sushi at the seafood restaurant.
Always important. Always important. Anything else?
Guys, all the jokes aside, we met with a lot of the teams over the last couple of years. Obviously, we've made 6 final visits, and the connection with the head coach Bruce Boudreau, the vision that Patrick and Jim have laid out was very appealing. Just the fact 2 Fridays ago, Jim Rutherford jumped in the car. He was in Toronto. He knew that we were flying in. He jumped in the car and he drove for close to 6 hours for a meeting with Andrei. And then at the same time, Patrick drove out of Pittsburgh, which is about 4.5 hours for the meeting on a Friday afternoon. And they spent time in Urban, Michigan offices outlining the vision, talking about Andrei, talking about his game. And it was a great meeting, and obviously we followed up with a second visit to Vancouver. Francesco, the owner, was involved in the process too, and basically Vancouver, just like many teams, had offered support and help with the transition. And most importantly, look, we know in the NHL nothing is given, nothing is guaranteed. And all we ask for is a chance, but Andrei felt very, very comfortable with Patrick Alden and with Bruce Boudreau and that is why we selected Vancouver Canucks.
Dan, I know you just talked about Boudreau, Rutherford, Alvin. It's a new regime in Vancouver, so you got to be pretty impressed with the way you've been dealt with the new regime so far.
Well, we've been talking for, obviously we've been doing business together for many years while they were in Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh was one of the first clubs who have reached out. And Andrei, Jim Rutherford was interested in Andrei for a number of years. Patrick Alden watched Andrei play back in 2014. So this is an unknown player. I mean, they knew the player. They watched him play for the last 8 or so seasons. So they were impressed, and they let Andrei know. And but to be honest, another thing which Andrei was extremely impressed with is the fan and media welcome he received from Vancouver. Now, we know, and I told him, I said, this could be good or it could be ugly at times too, but he was impressed. One of the fans went through Andrei's video and put a very nice scouting report with lots of video, and it was posted somewhere, and I forwarded it to Andrei, and he was impressed. But, Vancouver is a good place. He felt right at home. Obviously, he's not coming out to North America for unlimited sushi or for good weather or for low income taxes. He's coming out to Vancouver because he believes in the system. He believes in what Patrick and Jim and Bruce are trying to build, and he was impressed and he was excited.
I'm going to ask you about another high-profile client you have, and that is Evander Kane in Edmonton. You were in Edmonton with Kuzmenko. Did you get a chance to talk to Ken Hall and Dan about Evander Kane's future? He is a UFA. What is happening there?
We're going to touch base sometime next week. I mean, obviously, Ken Holland was, obviously Ken and I have known each other for a very long time. We've been doing business together for a long time. I'm not worried about it. I'm not concerned. Evander is not concerned. But the visit to Edmonton was purely to talk about Andrei. And so we're going to get back in the next couple of weeks or so and start talking about Evander.
All right.
Hey, Dan, back to your client, Andrei Kuzmenko, for a bit here. Canuck fans might be a bit gun-shy when it comes to signing Russian players because of the situation, because of the experience with Nikita Tramkin, who, from all reports, didn't adjust well to North American life. Will that be a problem, do you feel, with Andrei Kuzmenko?
Absolutely, positively no, and here's why. Mm-hmm. I told Andrei 2 years ago, Andrei, you have to learn English. And then most, it's not all, but most Europeans, they don't bother learning English. This guy took it serious. He was able to communicate with all of the general managers, head coaches, and team personnel without any help to translate. Very similar to what I went through with Ilya Mikheyev. And so you can expect that Andrei will be available at the media day as soon as the season starts, and then he'll be there speaking to you guys without the help of translator. That's number one. Number two, Andrei always smiles. He's happy. This is a dream. He's been working towards this dream for a long time. If it was about the money, he would have stayed in Russia and made a lot of money. But this is a dream. This is something he worked extremely hard for ever since we met many years ago, and he's going to be here. And then let me tell you something else. Mm-hmm. On a Friday, we come to, I'm going to break the news. On the Friday, last Friday, we go in to meet with Patrick. And so we walk in, and one of Patrick's associates, the lady asks what we wanted to drink. And so Andrei goes like, can I please have a water with lemon? Mm-hmm. And so everybody looks at Andrei, including myself. I'm like, dude, this is Canada. They don't have like fresh lemons in the general manager's office. And then so we looked at him, and everybody just started laughing. We were cracking up. We were just having a good time, laughing, making fun of Andrei a little bit. And so we leave for a lunch. We leave at Patrick's office to go walk around town. Mm-hmm. And Andrei looks at me and goes, okay, let's go to the store. let's buy some lemons. He goes like, it's going to be a good joke. Let's just go buy him some lemons. So we go to a local store. We buy 5 lemons. We go in for the follow-up meeting at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 4:30 or so. We walk in. Andrei's all proudly bringing a bag of lemons with him to have a, to basically counter joke. And we walk in, and there is a huge bowl full of lemons waiting for Andrei.
Wow.
Perfect.
So if you saw my tweet, Lemons Forever,
yep.
that he signs in Vancouver and Lemons Forever hashtag. That's our internal joke.
Hey, Dan, I think the more important question is, where is this all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant?
You know what? That was a joke.
Okay. Do you or Andrei know where we can find cheap gas in Vancouver? Or anywhere?
Like I said, he's not coming out to North America or to Canada in particular for cheap taxes, for all-you-can-eat sushi and good weather, because you guys don't have a good weather. Although I have to tell you,
it was sunny when you came here. Come on, Dan.
I know the weather gods were on Vancouver Canucks side the day we visited, because I heard that it was not very good the last couple of days.
Okay, Dan, one more. I'm going to backtrack here, and this will be the last question. I apologize for that. But you mentioned his draft year. Like, what lasted 7 rounds? You didn't get drafted. What happened? What exactly happened?
Well, you know what? Look, the mistakes are made all the time. Our internal joke at sitting in the draft, we wait until the 4th round and we sit there and we say, well, the star is about to be drafted. I mean, if you look at Tampa Bay's first line, you have Nikita Kucherov, who's a 2nd-round pick, 58th overall. You have Point, who's a 3rd-round pick, and you have Palat, who's a 7th-round pick. You look at the free agents. Ilya Mikheyev was not noticed by anybody until the age of 23. When I called him and said, Ilya, you're an NHL player. I want to work with you, and I want to bring you to the NHL. You're an NHL player. He was looking for cameras, thinking there was some kind of a prank for some time, and so he was not selected in any of the drafts. And then many others, Nikita Zaitsev, Artem Zub. And then the list goes on and on and on. And so we could also be sitting here talking about some of the guys that went early in the draft and never had a good career. So to me, the draft is an important day for parents and grandparents to be proud of their children. But the hard work begins from the draft and on. And teams that have the best scouting departments, you gotta continue scouting those guys when they're 23, 25. I mean, look, I have Nikolai Knizhov was a 12 games healthy scratch in the HL for San Jose Sharks in the farm system, and literally a month later he was a regular in the lineup in the NHL.
Dan, one thing I could say about this interview, it wasn't a lemon. It was excellent.
Excellent.
We appreciate it.
Well, thanks, guys. I'll send you my bill.
Okay.
I'm joking.
We'll send you a box of lemons.
Yeah.
A box of lemons. I'll take lemons. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on, and I look forward to speaking with you after the free agency.
You bet. Thanks, Dan.